Hello everyone, Star Baby Homestead here. It is the beginning of May and it is a nice overcast day. It's in the 70s, which is way better than the 80s, high 80s we've been in, and it finally rained. We've been in a drought and it's been absolutely miserable. So yeah, let's just get started. You know what, I'm gonna start up here on the hill and show you guys how the peach trees are progressing. Now, I've been spraying these guys because this peach tree is not disease resistant and I've been suffering with scab. Now, as you can see, there's way too many peaches on here. This I know. I'm gonna go through and thin these out, probably spacing maybe every 5. Some people suggest every 8 inches, but I think I'm going to do every 5 and just break up some of these clusters. But peaches overproduce. Right now I don't have a ladder to reach all of the peaches that are up there. So hopefully those will keep the birds at bay, while on the lower limbs, those will be for us. I may bag them again, but in the meantime, yeah, I just want to spray them and get them ready. The other peach tree, it has like 1 or 2 peaches on it. It just it bloomed and then the frost came and took out most of the blooms. So yeah, no peaches there, but just plenty here. And my dog Mina has been eating them. You guys, I think she's got pica. She ate a bunch of her bedding and upchucked it. And she just has to be watched because we've just had way too many instances with her eating things that she has no business, which is dangerous. And it's a little stressful because, you know, she's kind of high maintenance in that regard. So right now, she's over there. I've got a wire on her. And she's also got a buzz collar on, so it's to keep her from just gorging herself on grass and just all of these peaches that have fallen on the ground. The trees kind of prune themselves a little bit. They thin themselves out, and she's just been eating them. So anywho, back in here, so yeah, I try to spray for peach scab and bugs. So right now they're looking actually pretty good. So I got to keep up with that. But thinning is essential, especially if you have some wet, hot weather, because if not, you're going to end up with creepy crawlers. You're going to end up with disease, and especially if you don't have a disease resistant strain of peaches, which this does not seem to be. So down here is my Meyer lemon. It's really happy being in the ground. I saw a couple of lemons on here. I think here's one little tiny one, but it's turning yellow, which means it's probably going to fall off. I've had a lot of fruit drop. I probably won't get any lemons this year. I didn't get any last year, but it's been so hot and we've been in such a drought that yeah, they've just been dropping fruit, even though it had lots of blooms. But you know what? That's okay. I can afford to buy lemons still. It kind of sucks, but since this is the first year of it being in the ground, I'm just going to let it acclimate and just do what it's going to do. So, but yeah, it's starting to spread, which is great. And then I'm going to buy a satsuma at some point and stick over in the ground over here. So they're self-pollinating. You don't really need any of that. But it's nice to have your citrus up against a shed, even if they're cold hardy. So if it gets down in the 20s or below, then, you know, hopefully you won't lose the whole tree. So let's go over here. I always reserve this area next to the shed for watermelon. So I've got some sugar babies in here. There's 2 plants there and then 1 over here. And I laid some cardboard down because the grass just completely tried to take over, you can see. And then I laid some compost on top of that. and I'm going to mulch some more all around there, probably with pine straw. But by the time those roots start making their way down into the dirt, it would have, the cardboard will disintegrate. That's the wonderful thing about no dig. The cardboard will disintegrate, and all of the weeds or any grass that's under there will just turn into compost in order to feed the earth, in order to feed the plant. And you'll end up with some really good veggies that come out of no dig. I don't have time to be pulling this crabgrass. When it gets out of control like this, I'm just starting over. You get cardboard and you get dirt and some compost on top. That's just it. So yeah, so that's what's going on over here. But get these guys out. We wanted some personal size watermelons, but I think in late spring, maybe early June, I'm going to go ahead and plant my Jubilees. I love having giant watermelons. But maybe I won't plant so many this time. But I want to see how these produce. I've never grown any icebox type of watermelons before. I've only grown these big ones. So it'll be interesting to see how they produce. Over here are my peppers. So we've got some Papa Joe's red bell peppers, red and green bell peppers. Then we have some big reds right here. We've got some early jalapenos right here. And then way over here in the corner are finger peppers. I actually had some that from some store-bought, and this is the only one that survived. So yeah, I'm going to see how it produces. The seeds just did not come up, so I don't know if I didn't dry them well enough. But sometimes when stuff has been at the store, some of the store-bought stuff is kind of iffy, because you just don't know what pesticides were used on it or how it was grown. But I did get it from a farmer's market, but it'll be interesting to see how that produces. But since all of my peppers have never really done good because I've planted them in the garden in full sunlight, since this is up against the shed, it only gets like half of the day. And then the rest is in shade. And I think that'll be a little bit better for these guys. The grape is doing what the grape does. I've been pruning it kind of as it's been growing. And I'm trying to cut it. Cut any of the stems. Let's see. Let's use this one as an example. This one had a long tendril coming out. And I cut it here, excuse me, so that we could focus on growing the grape and to keep them from becoming just way too unruly. Some of these, as you can see, they have no, they don't have any grape clusters on them. The ones that don't have grape clusters, they don't really need to be there. So you also don't want your canopy, if it has any grapes in there, you don't want it to get too thick, because then the fruit is not going to be exposed to the sun to ripen like it should. So I need to get in here and do some more pruning on this thing. But so far it's healthy. It looks beautiful. I love it. Living decor for the outside. So I planted some, I believe it's echinacea here. And in order to keep the seeds moist, they're so tiny. Actually, correction, creeping thyme. And the seeds have not come up yet, but they need to stay moist and kind of covered. So they're moist and covered with plastic. So that's why this is sitting here like this. But kind of trying to use a living mulch around these grape roots so that they don't, you know, dry out or overheat. Now here's what's hilarious. Oh, you'll have to excuse my neighbor brought me some squash. I didn't need any more squash, but now I have some more. But she's going to get a lot more of that back because I have way more squash than I need. This was left over from a plant that I had pulled from here. It's that dino kale that is absolutely delicious. Now, my mint has exploded, not just in this pot, okay? But now it has crept out. So when they tell you plant mint in a pot to keep it from spreading, you probably need to move the pot around, and that's something that I have not done. This pot has been here for at least a year. So that means the roots have tunneled out of the holes of this pot. Maybe it's seeds. It could be seeds. Yeah, I don't know. But not only is it here, it's made its way onto the other side of the fence. So there's a good chance that we may just have a mint invasion in the garden. I guess I'm just going to have to pull it. But look how healthy it is. Isn't that lovely? Oh, so good. I'm going to have lots of mojitos with that. All right, let's see. Let's come over here. So because it was so hot, we had a lot of problems with aphids. And unfortunately, it kind of ate a lot of my turnip greens. That's why this looks kind of beat up, because I've been spraying with water and spraying with insecticidal soap. It's just an infestation of those little buggers. I can't stand them. They're disgusting. But up under here, you can see my turnips, the Tokyo Cross. I had a lot of big ones in there, but I gave some to the neighbor because we have more than enough. And then of course, love these greens. Let's see, radishes are here. I know they look absolutely horrible, again, because of the aphids. These were a second planting of radishes. Where'd they go? Okay, there they go. Oh goodness, poor things. Okay, so here's some radishes here. And there's a lot more under here, but yeah. The aphids have to be, they have to be handled because they'll suck the life out of everything. So this is my lettuce bed. I call this my salad bed because obviously this is the Gurney's mix here. I've pretty much harvested all of the lettuce that I had overwintered. I just have a little bit left of this Merlot lettuce. Some of my spinach, it's just now, looks like it's starting to go to seed. But I'm going to have to start harvesting this in the next couple of weeks. Now, intermingled with this, let's see. Okay, this is celeriac. All right, and I still have that one mother celeriac in here that's been there the whole time. I know it looks a little messy. These carrots have exploded. They're right here. They look like they're probably going to seed. So I might pull those and just go ahead and get those canned up. I have to do a lot of canning, but here is that celeriac right here. Probably going to be pulling that soon so we can have that for dinner. And the rest is just some spinach here, some more celeriac here, and then yeah, lettuce. So very lush. It's a very lush bed, but it also has to be pruned out because, again, aphids. So I'm probably going to do a second, once I harvest these turnips over here, I'm going to do a second planting of them. They're just so good. Or maybe I'll wait till the fall. I don't know. We'll see how far these go. There may be enough for us to get through the summer. But I like them in place of radishes even. But sometimes when it gets too hot, they don't produce all that well. But Tokyo Cross is an F1 and it produces really well. So over here, this is Brussels sprouts right here. Intermingled with the Brussels sprouts. I've got planted a lettuce leaf basil. There's Texas grano onions. And over here, that is Luciano kale, which is dino kale. And over here, as you can see, over there are my tiny seedlings. Those are rutabaga. Now I know some people only plant them in the fall. I planted these in the fall. I planted these in the fall and they overwintered. And I've already pulled a couple of them and I've started canning. I need to give one to the neighbor. He's got a big family. So probably this monster here. I know it's ridiculous, isn't it? Look how big this thing is. It's like a bowling ball. But that's a lot of good food. It's a lot of good food right there. So rutabaga is there. So over here we have our sugar snap peas. These things just do whatever they want. I'm now starting to get some peas on here. So probably in another week or so, with some more rain, I'll have a bit more mature peas that I can pull. They've got lots of flowers on them, so they're good and healthy. And then right next to them here are, I think these are called Diva cucumbers. And then I have some English long cucumbers. Ooh, that one does not look good, does it? Ooh, it looks sad. I transplanted these. That might need some more water. Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. And then a few parsnips that are interspersed in there. I kind of left them in there after I harvested the ones from this bed. I just didn't feel like pulling them because they were small. So I'm going to see how they grow. And I mean, they're companion plants, so they'll be fine. But in the meantime, you know, it's nice just to have plants grow better with other plants around them. It's a moisture, it's like a biology thing, it's a chemical thing. I mean, none of us like to really be alone, right? Says an introvert. Anywho, on to the next bed. This is cauliflower over here. I think this is snowball. I've got some Texas grano in there as well. And then over here, standing tall, is, I think it's green magic broccoli. I could be wrong. Whatever it is, it's an F1. And I've been spraying these guys. They've been covered with this green cloth because it's been so hot. I took everything off just to do this tour and kind of to let some of these breathe. Already I've been seeing cabbage moths flying around, so I've been spraying a lot of BT. And you can see... you see those munch marks there? Yeah, that's some cabbage worm. And maybe some flea beetles. But yeah, these guys have been undercover. So hopefully with the rain and a little overcast for the next couple of days, they'll acclimate pretty well. And then we won't just get blasted just yet. At least give us a few days of having some nice wet weather. What's behind me? Okay, I put an eggplant in. I think this is whatever those big black eggplants are. I can't think of the name of them. It's just a big black eggplant. And then there's some kale still back there. This is a peony creeping phlox, which I love. My rose, and next to my lavender. Here is some feverfew that's going to grow up tall, and then I put some phlox in front of it, and I need to mulch all of that because it will dry out in a heartbeat. So let's backtrack. Underneath the trellis we have all of my tomatoes. So in this bed we have green giants, we have brandy boy, we have beefsteak, we have mushroom basket. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Amish paste. So there are 4 tomatoes, types of tomato in here. Hubby's gonna get that fixed. I need that bar moved up to the top, and then yeah, once these guys get to about a foot tall, then I'm gonna go ahead and string them up. So never done that before, so it ought to be interesting. I'll do a video on it. So yeah, you guys can laugh at me. It'll be interesting. So over in this bed, we have Yukon Gold potatoes. I've already had to hill them up a little bit because I saw one of the potatoes sticking out. And oh, this makes me extremely happy. Let me show you guys. I mean, I know I'm invading their privacy. But these are the guys who eat, they eat the aphids. So sometimes you have to take the covers off, not only so that the predators can get in. There's moths, there's ladybugs, There's a couple of wasps that eat the aphids, but they can't get to it if you keep them covered. So sometimes if you cover too late, or if your weather's really dry like ours, you'll get these aphid infestations. And then I plant a lot close together. And some of that is my fault because you need some airflow to keep having, issues with contamination. Just now, there's this moth. I'm sorry, that is not a moth. You can see, well, there was a tiny little moth, and then he's over there buzzing around. Okay, can you see that little thing buzzing right there? He's kind of looking at us. He's looking for aphids, which is excellent. And then again, you've got the mating ladybugs. They're like, excuse me, can I get some privacy here, please? So anyway, potatoes in here. I only put 5 plants in. So we don't eat a lot of white potatoes. We eat more sweet. But I still like to have them. So I want to see how many potatoes I can get out of these 5 plants. Over here, we have our green beans. Now, I had some saved seed, and I only got 3, 3 plants. So I had to go in and those were Blue Lake, I think. So sometimes it's a hit or miss with these saved seeds. So I've already planted some more green beans in here, just waiting for them to sprout. It's fresher seed. So I just went to the store and bought some because, you know, I don't have time to sit around and figure out what went wrong. If the seeds aren't working, they're just not going to work. All right, strawberry bed. They are coming along well. Every single one of the Chandler strawberries came up. Mystery strawberry still there. Now, as of right now, I think 2 of the Albion have not come up. Let's see. This one here, she feels really, it feels really dry and it's not looking so good. Let me cover that up a little bit more. I think we may have lost that one. The rest of them seem to have come up. Here's another one right here. It's a little bit, I don't know about that one either. It's looking a little sad. The rest of them have come up, so we'll see. In these little spots right here, I have some echinacea, has yet to have come up. They have been, stratified. They were in the refrigerator for at least a month or 2. So we'll see if they come up. Wildflowers do weird stuff. They come up when you least expect it. Here's my squash. This is early scallop. This is the one mystery squash that my neighbor brought me. I'm assuming this is Georgia yellow squash, or just some plain old like straight neck or crook neck squash. Here's my dahlia, the only one that I have in this bed that came back. There is some more scalloped, and then some more echinacea that we have yet to see. So right here, after I harvested all of my weird looking garlic, here is my collards that are left. They have really taken off. Let me show you guys. Look how pretty they are. I love it. I don't even know if we can eat all these collards. And I don't know, certain things we don't like to freeze. We don't like to freeze greens too much. I mean, it's okay for like root vegetables and just regular vegetables, but greens are a little weird. Once you freeze them, the only thing you can really do is put them in soup, because you can't really stir fry them or saute them because they taste really strange. So anyway, we're probably going to go through a lot of these. All right, let's backtrack. All right, here is my beets and arugula. The arugula came up so fast it's already gone to seed, and I haven't even had a chance to pick or eat any. So I need to get on the ball with this arugula. Let's see, how are the beets coming along? I think I saw a beet the other day. Oh yeah, they're starting to bulb, which means I need to go in here and thin these guys out. I should have done that a long time ago. Time got away from me and it was really hot. But you probably should only have about 4 in here. But the greens are really good and you can just use those in salads. So I've got one little beet, see, like right here, starting. And yeah, so I need to go in and really just kind of clear them out. We eat beet greens just, you know, in general, just for like breakfast, in omelets and that sort of thing. Over here across from that are my cabbage. On this side we have Katarina, which looks like some cabbage worm or slugs have gotten to them. I gotta spray those. And over here are my Savoy. They're starting to kind of take over. So once again, make sure that they get some air. Now I want to show you guys something. I don't hear them, but they're usually over here raising a little sand. But I discovered this the other day and I'm like, why you guys? I'm like, ugh. Let's see, can you see that? It's a little nest. Look at the cute little eggs. Oh my gosh. But I wish they weren't so I wish they didn't put them there, because now I've got to keep my dogs from coming over here. I don't trust Mina. She's a hunter. Like, she will dispatch an animal in a minute. Cassie will just carry it in her mouth, and I'll have to tell her to just, no, you cannot keep the baby bird. So anyway, and they're in my blueberries. Like, what if I want to pick blueberries? You know what, whatever. Our blueberries got hit by frost, so there won't nearly be as many as we would like this year. But you know what, if I can keep them, I can't even really throw a net over them. They're kind of far away from ripening, but if I throw a net over them, then I won't be able to get my blueberries and they won't be able to feed their babies. I think that's Mama. She's over there fussing, sitting on the rail, you can see. I've been talking to her, but I'm like, ma'am, you're in my garden and you put your nest here. Can you not? But anyway, those birds will help keep pests out of my garden. So here is, let's see, we've got chard in here and we have bok choy. So many greens. And there were supposed to be parsnips in here, but the seed did not come up. You know what? I think I see one. Yes, there's a lot of weeds and grass right now, but do you see this little thing right here? There's one parsnip seed that came up. They're slow to germinate as it is. But I kind of like parsnips more so than carrots. But I don't know. It may be. I won't be sowing those until the fall. It seems like a fall type of thing. But they take a long time to grow, so I'll have to revisit that at another time. But I left these onions in here as pest deterrent. And luckily, I haven't gotten too many aphids in here. But you have to really stay on top of it. I mean, I do see, I think those are aphids, people. Okay? So I need to come by with some water and blast the hell out of them. So let's see, where are we at? All right, behind me, I have my determinate tomatoes. And I unfortunately had to throw, I think, a couple of indeterminates in there just because I had way too many plants. But it looks like all of them are surviving, so I may not even need those extra plants. I may be able to give them to neighbors or something. But interspersed in there, I have leaf basil. Tomatoes and basil go really well together, not just as a great food companion, but as garden companions to keep away pests. Over here, these guys are growing so well. I grew these from seed. These are the columbine. and they reseed, so they're a perennial, sort of. We'll see how they do in Georgia. Jasmine's back there up against the fence. It was looking so pitiful because it was so hot, but now it looks like it's starting to take off. Then we have more chard. These plants were looking so terrible, but then they just came back. I think chard is a biannual, but yeah, these guys looked awful, and now they look just absolutely beautiful. They're looking more ornamental, but you know, of course we're going to eat them. Behind here is, I planted, what's that? Some more echinacea or bee balm. If it's not echinacea, it's bee balm that I have in all of these like bald spots. Just waiting for them to come up. And I have another peony right here, but something nibbled on it, so that's why I'm keeping it covered. I need to weed. It's kind of taking over. But next to them are the first of the okra that have come up. And then one sad butternut squash. The kind that I got, it was an F1, and it just did not germinate all that well, or they just died. So this is the only one. Hopefully it won't get taken out. I think I'm going to be making a trip to the store, and I'm going to end up having to buy some butternut squash. But I wanted to get them because they winter squash that was squash borer proof. The red curries, as much as I like them and they keep so well, the squash bugs just discovered them, and it was just they're so gross. It was a mess. So we'll see how that does. And then over here are the same squash that my neighbor gave me. Again, have no idea. And she didn't have any idea either because she got them. They were a gift for contributing to a charity. So I bet you it's yellow squash. What kind of squash do you guys think it is? It's probably the most common squash that we all know, right? So over here, good news is I still have asparagus that's coming up. But I haven't had a chance to eat the asparagus that we already have in the house. So now we've got a bunch of ferns, but this is good because we want them to be nice and healthy. So a lot has come up. There's even more than what we had the year before. So just so you know, when you plant asparagus, they just keep giving. They just keep giving, and it's amazing. Every year it gets better. But you may, if you have multiple people in your family, you may have to, I think I have 11 plants here, and it's more than enough for us. All right, so I already did an announcement on this, but we have an orchard. Yeah, so happy. I know it's kind of not impressive right now, but it's going to be. That's the point. It's going to be. So here we have our Belle of Georgia peach tree, self-pollinating, disease resistant. We have our Alberta peach tree, self-pollinating and also disease resistant. We have our Stark Brothers Golden Delicious apple. And we have our Star Crim Red Delicious apple. Both disease resistant, drought resistant, etc., etc. Along the fence line, we have mulberry trees, tiny little sticks, really. Compliments of Etsy. We have our magnolia, which I transported and dug up from the front yard. Luckily, with the rain, it looks terrible. I know it looks dead. It's not dead. Everything on it is still green. And these are new leaves that are going to come up out of here. Our Van Hoot spirea, they're coming along fine. They're still there, doing well. So I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. That's a mouthful, guys. I'm tired. My mouth is dry. I would say I was going to cover all of this stuff, but I don't think I'm going to. The breeze out here is beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Thank you all for joining me on this tour. I will keep you guys posted as we continue to develop this garden and our homestead. Let me know in the comments what you're proud of, what you're growing, what you're doing. If you're canning, stay in touch. Be well, be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.